everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're all about taking control of your health, but not with, the same old generic advice. We're going way deeper.
Yeah, we're diving into the world of personalized nutrition and wellness.
Okay, love it. So much info out there,
It's
right?
overwhelming.
It really is, so hopefully we can cut through some of that noise today.
Absolutely.
So let's unpack this healthy diet thing.
Okay.
We hear it all the time, but, what does it even mean?
Right.
Is it really the be-all and end-all for our immune systems?
It's definitely more than just a catchy phrase.
Yeah.
A healthy diet provides, the literal building blocks for our immune system.
Really?
Yeah, think of it this way. Research shows that the gut microbiome
Okay.
plays a really crucial role in immunity, with certain bacteria actually linked to a stronger response.
So it's like having this secret army of good bacteria in your gut fighting for you?
Exactly.
I'm into that. So, okay, what about those immune-boosting foods we always hear about?
Right.
Citrus fruits, ginger, garlic, are those actually doing anything?
They can contribute, for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
to a healthy system overall.
Yeah.
But it's not about one magic food.
Yeah.
It's about the bigger picture.
The symphony, not the solo act kind of thing.
Exactly.
Got it. I like that. Speaking of symphonies, what about this whole microbiome thing? It's like everyone's suddenly an expert. How crucial is it, really?
Oh, it's absolutely crucial. I mean,
Hmm.
we're talking trillions of bacteria living in our gut, influencing everything from digestion to, you guessed it, immunity.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So how do we tend the garden, so to speak? What can we do to support a healthy microbiome?
Well, a diet rich in fiber and prebiotics is key. These are fertilizer for the good bacteria.
Okay.
So specifically prebiotics like inulin, you'll find those in foods like bananas and onions
Interesting.
and fructans, found in things like wheat and asparagus.
Got it. Adding those to my grocery list. You also mentioned lentils earlier. Why are those little legumes getting so much attention lately?
Well, I mean, they are nutritional powerhouses,
Okay.
low in fat and sodium, but packed with fiber, potassium, folate.
Okay.
Plus, they're a fantastic source of those prebiotics we were just talking about, especially the fructans.
So they were designed to be the perfect food or something.
Right.
And the best part is they're so versatile.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
can
Yeah.
put them in anything.
Soups, stews, salads, you name it. They even make a great meat substitute,
Yeah.
veggie burgers and things like that.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Here's something I found really interesting while I was doing a little research for this deep dive.
Okay.
Not only are lentils good for us, but they're also incredibly sustainable.
Yes,
Talk about a win-win.
exactly. They require so much less water and fertilizer than many other crops, and they can actually help to improve soil health.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a way to, eat well and tread lightly on the planet, lentils are the way to go.
Love it. Okay, all this talk about healthy eating is making me hungry,
Right?
but I have to admit it feels like eating healthy is just so expensive these days.
Yeah.
Is that a valid concern?
It's definitely a common one.
Yeah.
But eating well doesn't have to break the bank.
Okay, good.
It's about being strategic, right?
Yeah.
And making smart choices that work for your budget.
Okay, so give me the inside scoop. What are some practical tips for eating healthy on a budget?
Well, one of the simplest but most effective things you can do is to shop your pantry first.
Oh,
Before you even think about going to the store,
yes.
see what you've got hiding in your cupboards.
Yes. I'm so bad for that.
You'd be surprised how many meals you can create
Yeah.
with a little creativity and those often forgotten ingredients.
Oh, it's so true. I'm totally guilty of buying new stuff when I have perfectly good food just hiding in the back of my pantry.
Right. Happens to the best of us.
What about when I do venture out to the grocery store? Any tips for navigating those aisles on a budget?
That's a great question, and we're actually going to get to that right after a quick break.
All right, so we're back at the grocery store, ready to stock up on all those healthy goodies, but trying to do it on a budget.
Yeah.
What should we be keeping in mind?
Okay, well, first and foremost, never, ever shop when you're hungry.
Oh, yeah.
You're far more likely to make impulse buys and end up with a cart full of things you don't need.
Oh, 100%. Been there.
And when you are shopping, think about filling your cart with those nutrient-rich foods that are also budget-friendly.
Okay, yeah.
Things like beans, lentils, of course,
Right.
oats, frozen fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
These are staples that can be the foundation of a healthy diet without breaking the bank.
Okay, love it. What about those 10 for $10 deals on produce?
Oh, yeah.
Are those ever worth it, or should I just stick to frozen?
I mean, it really depends. If you know that you're going to use those fresh fruits and vegetables before they go bad, then, like, yeah, go for it. Those sales can be awesome.
Right.
But if you're not a huge produce person, or if you just, life gets in the way and things tend to go to waste,
Yeah.
frozen can be a smarter option.
Okay.
They last much longer, and they're often just as nutritious as fresh.
That's a really good point. I hate wasting food,
Yeah,
especially those greens.
the worst. And don't forget about generic brands.
Oh, yeah, good.
They often have the same quality ingredients as the name brands,
Right.
just, without all the fancy packaging and marketing.
Totally. Okay, so many good tips. I feel like I can go out there and, tackle those grocery aisles.
You got this.
I'm feeling confident. Okay. I want to shift gears a little bit. We've talked a lot about the physical stuff we're putting into our bodies,
Right.
but this deep dive is all about finding an approach to health that really works for you, right?
Absolutely.
And I feel like that goes way beyond just what you're eating. It's the mental side of things too.
Oh, for sure.
So let's talk about mindful eating. Is that just another wellness buzzword, or is there actual value there?
No, it's definitely more than just a buzzword. It's a really powerful tool
Okay.
for creating a healthier relationship with food overall.
Okay.
So instead of just, mindlessly shoveling food into our mouths,
Oh, yeah. Guilty.
which, let's be honest, we've all done.
Yes.
It's about slowing down and really paying attention to the experience of eating.
So it's not just what we're eating, it's how we're eating it.
Yes, exactly. It's about savoring each bite, noticing the flavors, the textures, how the food makes us feel, physically and even emotionally.
That's so interesting. I've never thought about it like that before. I know when I'm stressed, I definitely have those moments where I'm just not even tasting anything.
Stress eating.
It's just going down the hatch.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been there, right? But mindful eating can really help us to break those unhealthy patterns
Okay.
and actually develop a more conscious and enjoyable relationship with food.
Got it.
And the research shows you can have some really amazing benefits too.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Improved digestion, you're less likely to overeat, even just lower stress levels overall.
Wow. Okay, I'm sold. Mindful eating, I'm into it. It sounds like a game changer.
It can be. It really can.
Speaking of game changers, we gotta talk about precision nutrition.
Yes,
This sounds futuristic to me.
it does. It kind of is.
Right.
But it's definitely not just a trend.
Okay.
Precision nutrition is an evolving field that's all about personalizing your diet based on your unique biology.
So it's basically having a diet plan that's custom made for you
Yeah.
based on your DNA and all that.
Yeah. We're talking about looking at your genes, your microbiome,
Wow.
even how your body responds to different foods on a metabolic level.
Okay, so how does that even work?
So, for example, precision nutrition can help identify how your body processes carbohydrates.
Okay.
Right. So that leads to tailored recommendations for what types of carbs you should be eating and when.
Okay. So is there actual science to back this up, or is it still too early to tell if it actually,
Right. It's a relatively new field,
Okay.
but the research so far is promising.
Yeah.
Scientists are discovering that people really do metabolize food differently.
Right.
And what works for one person might not work for another.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So precision nutrition basically aims to take the guesswork out of dieting
Okay.
by using your own biological data to create a personalized roadmap for you.
So it's moving away from that one-size-fits-all approach to dieting
Exactly.
and kind of embracing the fact that we're all unique.
Yes.
We all have unique needs.
Exactly. We're all snowflakes.
I love it. Okay, this is all super interesting. What does this mean, practically speaking, for the average person?
That's a great question. I think it's important to remember that, it's still early stages.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
While there are companies out there offering personalized genetic testing, microbiome testing,
Yeah.
it's essential to approach these with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Okay.
I would say, the field is evolving rapidly and we're still learning how to best interpret and apply all of this data.
So stay informed, be open to new possibilities, but don't just jump on every bandwagon that comes along.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah. Talk to your doctor, stay curious, and just, make sure any decisions you make are backed by solid science.
Love it. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground when it comes to food and nutrition.
We have.
But there's another piece of the healthy living puzzle that we can't ignore.
Right.
exercise. Is it really as important as everyone says it is?
I mean, movement is essential
Okay.
for overall health and well-being.
Right.
It's not just about weight management.
Right.
It's about, supporting your cardiovascular system, your bones and muscles, your mood, everything.
I know. I always feel better when I move my body, but it's so easy to get stuck in a rut.
Oh, tell me about it.
Speaking of ruts, what's the deal with this whole 10,000 steps a day thing?
Right.
Do we really have to hit that magic number to be healthy?
You'll be relieved to hear that the 10,000 step rule is more of a guideline than a hard and fast rule.
Okay, good.
So while aiming for a higher step count can definitely have its benefits,
Yeah.
it's not a magic number that everyone needs to hit religiously every single day.
Okay, that's good to know, because I have to admit, 10,000 steps always felt a little intimidating.
Yeah.
So for those of us who aren't, hitting the gym every day, what are your top tips for staying active?
My biggest piece of advice is to find ways to just integrate movement into your everyday life.
Okay.
Take the stairs instead of the elevator.
Okay.
Walk or bike to work if you can.
Yep.
Dance around your living room while you're doing chores. Those little bits of activity really add up.
Love that. So it's more about just finding those opportunities to move more throughout the day rather than it feeling like this big formal workout.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. What about, I'm not a gym person, never have been.
Either.
Okay, good. What about other ways to,
Oh, there's so many.
to get moving that don't feel like punishment?
Gardening. Great way to get your body moving and connect with nature.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah.
Dancing is fantastic.
Yes.
Both physically and mentally. And I mean, you can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned walk.
Love it.
Even 15 minutes can do wonders.
Yeah. Okay, you're speaking my language. I'm much more likely to go for a walk in the park than I am to, go to the gym. Okay. We've talked about what we eat. We've talked about moving our bodies.
Right.
But there's another essential pillar of health.
Yes.
And that is sleep. How much do we really need? Is there, a magic number?
Sleep is just as crucial as diet and exercise
Okay.
when it comes to our well-being. And it's something that, unfortunately, often gets pushed aside.
Totally.
Right. We live in a busy world.
It's so true.
But while the amount of sleep we need varies from person to person, most adults should really aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night.
Okay. I know I feel terrible when I don't get enough. But why is it so important? What's actually happening in our bodies when we sleep?
So when we sleep, our bodies and minds are hard at work, repairing and restoring themselves.
Good.
It's like hitting the reset button.
I like that.
So our cells regenerate, our muscles rebuild, our brains process information, they consolidate memories.
Wow.
Sleep is essential for everything. Hormone regulation, immune function, it's really important.
So it's not just about feeling rested. It's about giving our bodies the chance to really do some serious maintenance.
Yes, exactly.
What are some of the things that can mess with our sleep? I will fully admit I am guilty of scrolling on my phone in bed, even though I know I shouldn't.
You and me both.
Mm.
Those screens are a major sleep saboteur.
Really?
The blue light they emit can actually suppress melatonin production.
See, I always thought that was an old wives' tale.
It's legit.
Really?
It is. Think about it this way. When it starts getting dark outside, your body naturally starts winding down for sleep, right?
Right, yeah.
And melatonin is a key part of that process.
Okay.
But when you're exposed to that bright light from your phone or your tablet,
Yeah.
you're basically telling your brain it's still daytime,
Oh.
which can make it so much harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
That makes so much sense. Okay, put away the devices. Got it. What about other things? What other sleep disruptors are out there?
Well, caffeine and alcohol can also interfere with your sleep,
Okay.
even if you consume them hours before bed.
Yeah.
And then don't underestimate the powers of a relaxing bedtime routine.
Oh, yeah.
So creating that calming environment, dimming the lights, maybe taking a warm bath,
Yeah.
all of those things signal to your body that it's time to wind down.
Love it. Okay, I'm definitely going to try incorporating some of that. Now, what about those sleep disorders I hear everyone talking about?
Right.
Are those actually common? And how do you know if you might have one?
They are really common.
Really?
Yeah, things like sleep apnea, insomnia, restless leg syndrome.
Oh, wow.
They can really impact your sleep quality.
Yeah.
So if you are consistently struggling to get a good night's sleep, or if you're waking up exhausted even after a solid 7 to 9 hours, it's worth talking to your doctor.
Okay, that's really good to know. It's easy to just like brush those sleep problems off, but it sounds like it could be a sign of something more serious.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about what we eat, we've talked about exercising, we've talked about sleep,
Yeah.
all these pillars of a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
But there's one other major factor that can really affect our well-being, and that is stress.
Stress.
It feels like everyone I talk to is stressed these days.
Right.
How does stress actually impact our health, and what can we do about it?
Well, stress is so pervasive
It is.
in our modern world,
Yeah.
and it can really have a profound impact on our health in so many ways.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So when we're stressed, our bodies release hormones like cortisol,
Okay.
which are fine in short bursts.
Right.
But if we're constantly flooded with them, it can lead to like a cascade of negative effects.
What kind of effects?
Increased inflammation, higher blood sugar levels, it weakens your immune function, digestive problems.
Wow.
The list goes on and on.
So it's not just in our heads, it's actually like doing damage to our bodies.
Oh, yeah. And chronic stress can increase the risk of developing, a whole range of other health issues from heart disease and stroke
Aw.
to depression and anxiety.
That's scary. So what can we do? Are we just supposed to like avoid stressful situations? I mean, I don't know if that's possible.
Right. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Right. A stress-free life.
Sign me up. But unfortunately, stress is just a part of life, right?
Yeah.
The key is to develop healthy coping mechanisms for when those situations inevitably arise.
So how do we do that?
Well, the good news is a lot of the things that we've already talked about, like eating a balanced diet, regular exercise,
Right.
and getting enough sleep, can actually really help to buffer against the negative effects of stress.
So it's almost like a positive feedback loop. Like the healthier your lifestyle, the more equipped you are to handle stress.
Exactly.
And then the less stressed you are, it's easier to maintain those healthy habits.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
all interconnected. And then beyond those foundational pillars, there are other things you can do to, cultivate resilience and manage stress effectively.
Okay, like what?
So practicing mindfulness and meditation, spending time in nature,
Oh, yeah.
pursuing your hobbies,
Yeah.
nurturing your social connections, all of these things can make a huge difference. It's about finding what works for you and incorporating those stress-reducing practices into your daily routine.
I love how much this deep dive is really highlighting the holistic nature of health.
It's all connected.
It's not just about one thing, it's about all these different pieces
Yes.
working together.
In a big puzzle, right?
Yes.
You got to put all the pieces together.
Exactly. Okay. Speaking of putting the pieces together, I'm really intrigued by this whole Healthycoin concept that you sent over.
Oh, yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of buzz about cryptocurrencies in general.
Right.
This seems different, though.
It is.
What's the idea behind it?
So Healthycoin is really interesting. It's trying to tap into the power of positive reinforcement
Okay.
to motivate healthy habits.
Okay, I like it already.
So it's a cryptocurrency that rewards you for making healthy choices.
So the healthier your lifestyle, the more healthy coins you earn.
Basically, yeah. You got it.
That's amazing. So how does it actually work?
Well, the platform integrates with fitness trackers and health apps
Okay.
to monitor your activity. And you can earn coins based on things like your steps, exercise frequency, sleep quality, even your meditation minutes.
So it's like gamifying healthy habits.
That's exactly.
Turning it into something that's not just good for you, but potentially financially rewarding as well.
Yes.
That's really cool. I mean, what can you spend them on though?
So you can redeem the coins for rewards and discounts at partner businesses,
Okay. Yeah.
gyms, health food stores, even some insurance companies.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's like a win-win for everyone. Exactly. You're incentivized to prioritize your health. Businesses get to attract health-conscious customers.
Exactly.
Love it. What's the timeline for this? When can we expect this to launch?
So the roadmap that they sent over outlines a phased approach.
Okay.
The pre-sale and the launch of VIP licenses is actually happening later this year, Q4 2024.
Wow. Okay.
And the platform's going to initially be available in Europe and Africa.
Okay.
And then they're planning a wider rollout to include North and South America, Asia, and Australia the following month.
So soon.
Yeah, very soon.
Okay, that's exciting. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. What do you think? Are there any challenges?
I mean, like any new venture, I'm sure they'll face their fair share of challenges, right?
Right.
So building trust is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Establishing a really secure platform.
Right.
They'll need to demonstrate that their coin has long-term value
Okay.
and just make sure that it remains relevant.
Yeah.
But technology changes so quickly these days, right?
It really does.
Yeah. But I'm excited about the potential, I have to say.
Yeah.
It just seems like a really innovative way to promote healthy living and just like create that positive feedback loop.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah. Between our well-being and, potentially our financial security as well.
Exactly.
It really is. Okay, we've covered so much ground today.
I know, right?
It's a lot.
So much good stuff.
I know, it really is. From like personalized nutrition to mindful eating, stress management, even this whole Healthycoin thing.
Right. Who knew?
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in. So before we wrap up, what are some key takeaways that you hope our listeners are walking away with today?
I think the biggest one is just remembering that health isn't about being perfect.
Right.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
It's about, figuring out what works for you.
Yes.
And making those small little changes over time.
I love that. Such a good reminder because it's so easy to get caught up in the trends.
Oh, I know.
Or to feel like you have to do it all at once.
Exactly.
Overhaul your whole life.
Yeah, and who can do that?
Right, it's too much.
It's way too much.
It's those little things, right?
The little things.
Those daily choices.
Yes, consistency is key.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach either.
Oh, absolutely not. What works for your best friend or your sister or that influencer you follow,
Right.
it might not be right for you. You have to listen to your own body.
Yes,
Right.
100%. It's about tuning in to your own inner wisdom and being the expert on your own body.
Yes. Be your own guru.
I love it.
Hey.
Okay, as we wrap up, what is one small, actionable step our listener could take today
Ooh, good question.
to start incorporating even just one thing that we talked about?
Think about what really resonated with you.
Okay, yeah.
Was it the prebiotics? Was it the sleep hygiene? Was it mindful eating? Pick one and, just make a conscious effort to try it today, even if it's as simple as adding some lentils to your dinner tonight.
Okay, I love it.
Turn off your phone an hour before you go to bed, or just taking 5 minutes to actually sit down and really savor your next meal.
Yes, I love that challenge. Okay, and remember, listeners, this isn't just a one-way street. We want to hear from you guys.
Yes.
What are your health challenges?
What works for you?
What tips do you have?
Exactly.
Let's make it a conversation.
Share your stories, the good, the bad.
Yeah, ugly.
We're all in this together.
Love it.
Let's support each other on this journey.
Couldn't agree more. All right, until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep on diving deep.